Yo, guys, Urb'n Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, tonight we've got a bit of education here on our channel from our man Thomas Sowell. And guys, I'm really excited to hear this. And before I actually preface this, or I will preface this, is that guys, I am neither on the left nor the right or even in the center of things. I just take everything as they come on their individual merits. So if something comes up about the right or the left, I'll talk about it. No worries on that. But in this case, guys, it's our man Thomas Sowell, and he's talking about how to calmly shut down an accusation from a liberal. Guys, I don't know what to expect, but I expect to be entertained. Let's check this out.
How do the anointed refer to people they don't agree with?
All sorts of ways, but I think the main thing is they believe that you're not merely in error but in sin. In other words, they can't believe that you're just mistaken. You must have sold out.
Oh, I like the way he said, how do you view the anointed? So what does he mean by the anointed? I don't know. I'm going to replay that in a second, guys. But it's true because I find this on so many things, not just about politics. I don't know, something's making a lot of noise here. Not sure what it is, but about everything. So if you go on the internet and you ask about something, how do you do something on a computer? How do you do something on whatever? You don't just get an answer, but you get an answer of, oh, you must be really stupid. How do you not know this question? And how do you not know the answer to this question, etc. You've reached out for help. You're reaching out for someone to give you assistance. You don't need to be abused and beaten down and broken and rebuked because of this. I mean, what is it with people these days? Just give a straight answer. If you can't give a straight answer, then don't bother to reply at all. I mean, what is this thing about having to stand over someone and crush and beat them down? It's ridiculous. And I think that's what he was saying about the answers from the anointed. Who's the anointed? Who anointed you? That's the anointed. I have no idea, guys. Let me just check this out one last time. So, guys, let's get back into this. This is how to calmly shut down an accusation from a liberal.
How do the anointed refer to people they don't agree with?
All sorts of ways, but I think the main thing is they believe that you're not merely in error but in sin. In other words, they can't believe that you're just mistaken.
So you're not merely in error, but in sin. Really?
You must have sold out. You must be something warped about you.
Do people think you sold out because you're conservative?
Oh, some do. Some do. I'm always fascinated with that phrase. First time I heard it was at Cornell University.
I remember when I was a kid, back in the days, guys, and we had the hip hop tune, Malcolm X, No Sellout, No Sellout. Oh my goodness. I can't remember who did that, but that was a great tune. Guys, you'll know that because that was done in the 1980s. Check it out, Malcolm X, No Sellout. I'm just going to wheel this one last time, guys, because I digressed.
How do the anointed refer to people they don't agree with?
All sorts of ways, but I think the main thing is they believe that you're not merely in error but in sin. In other words, they can't believe that you're just mistaken. You must have sold out. You must be something warped about you.
Do people think you sold out because you're conservative?
Oh, some do. Some do. I'm always fascinated with that phrase. First time I heard it was at Cornell University. And I attacked the president of Cornell University on the front page of the New York Times. I wondered, now, if I'm selling out, who am I selling out to if I'm attacking the president of Cornell University? What brownie points will I get for that as an assistant professor on a 3-year contract?
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
No. And the other thing that always gets me is that the people who are supposed to have sold out typically have less money than the ones who are making the accusation. Years
That's
ago,
always true.
I remember some student wrote to me and I said, what you need to do is make a list of all the blacks on your campus that you think have sold out. And then make a list of those you think you have stood up for the right thing, you see. And then alongside each name, put down the name and model of car that they drive. And then see if you want to reconsider what you've just said.
Oh, this is facts. So have you backed up your statement of people who sold out with facts? So we're talking about material facts? I don't know.
You know, when the liberals don't agree with people, they classify them as mean-spirited.
Oh, yes.
For the rich. Let me give you some classic liberal comments about conservatives. You guys are for the rich. You guys only care about the rich guys. Answer that. How do you respond? Liberal says conservatives only care about rich people.
Well, one of the things I go into in the book is that the whole notion of rich is ridiculous. That most Americans don't stay in the same income bracket, even for one decade. So the same guy who is, quote, rich now was 20 years ago probably in the bottom 20%.
I like that. So he was saying that most Americans won't be staying in the same income bracket for more than a decade. So if you go back and look 10 years from now, where will they be? They will be in a different income bracket. So what is the definition of rich? I think is the term here. And it's the question. How do you define rich? That's interesting. Guys, if you know, let me know here in the comment section. This is a genuine question, guys. I don't know the answer.
I mean, I was on a cruise recently, a luxury cruise, and the guy said, if someone had told me when I was growing up that I would end up on a cruise like this, I would have said, get real, man. That very few people are in that same income bracket the whole time.
Right.
The genuinely rich and the genuinely poor, I would estimate to be no more than 3% of the American people.
Really?
Put together.
So Thomas Sowell's saying the genuinely rich and the genuinely poor make up no more than 3% of the American population, I think he said. So literally, that means that 97% of the population of the states are neither genuinely rich nor are they genuinely poor. So people normally say it's the 1% are genuinely rich and control most things. And potentially then we're talking about up to 2% are genuinely poor, destitute, broke, have no chance to ever progress for whatever reason. So that is really interesting. So then we've got 97% of the population who make up, say, for instance, the middle class, maybe the upper middle class, the working class, the lower working class, then all these other areas. But then there's a line where you are just genuinely broke, poor, no chance at all to elevate yourselves. That is interesting. Guys, if you know anything about this, let me know down here in the comment section. I absolutely have no real greatness of knowledge on this, to be honest with you. So I cannot tell you whether our man Thomas Sowell is correct or false. I would genuinely love to find out what is going on in the American system, in your economy, how you view things. How do you view the genuinely rich, the genuinely poor? Is Thomas Sowell right that it's only 3%, or is he mistaken here? I'm not sure when this was taken. It looks like a few years ago, so maybe things have changed slightly. What do you think is the sliding scale now? Has it increased to be, is it more than 1% are genuinely rich and potentially more than 2% are genuinely poor? Let me know, guys. I really don't know. So let's get back to this. This is really, really interesting, guys.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Genuinely poor. Now, I'm seeing numbers like when they were talking about health care, they said, 30 million people couldn't afford it or something?
Several million of those were making more than $50,000 a year. So it's not, see, this is one of the things the Anointed do. They never believe that people make choices.
Oh.
There are people who have the money. They prefer to put that money into a BMW rather than have. A
lot of young people didn't want health care. They were betting on their health.
Absolutely. And this allows them to buy more stuff that they want to buy. So it's not a question that they couldn't afford it. It's a question they don't choose to spend the money.
Mm-hmm. What about mean-spirited? Conservatives are mean-spirited. They're bigots. They don't like people.
Well, one of the things I tell people say, you're a very tough person. I'm not tough. Life is tough. I'm merely trying to acquaint you with those facts.
What kind of a father were you? Tough?
Well, now, I've never done a poll among my children, fortunately, probably. But I have been called the last of the Victorian parents.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's tough.
I am not one who believes that the kids should be given unlimited indulgence, and I think I can safely say that mine were not.
Tough love.
Were you too tough? In other words, did they rebel? Don't kids go through a rebellious period? How did you deal with that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I just
said, "Here's what you should do," and
that's it. When the kid's away in college and he's not doing and he's messing up, I simply say there'll be no more money.
And that's good.
Yes, it sort of gets there.
Cut off the income.
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, guys. So that was our man Thomas Sowell, and that was how to calmly shut down an accusation from a liberal. Guys, that was short and sweet, but I've learned so much. I didn't know about the 1% and the 2%. in the United States. I mean, guys, let me know down here in the comment section. What do you think about what Thomas Sowell said? Do you agree with him? Do you disagree? Why do you agree? Why do you disagree? Just let me know down here in the comment section. It was really interesting. I like the fact, and I do agree to some extent, that people do make choices. So when you're young, you know, with your disposable income, are you going to put that into healthcare? Probably not, because as he said, and it is true, we do feel invincible when we're young, etc. So we're not looking 30, 40 years ahead into healthcare and stuff like that. So potentially that could sway, and that could change, the result of polls where people are saying, like for income, what are people, and income and expenditure, what are people earning, and what percentage of their earnings are they spending on healthcare, insurances, this, that, and the third, etc., etc., etc. So how they do these things with statistics, and how they judge things, how they judge the criteria for rich, poor, this, that, and everything else, it could be skewed. That was really interesting, guys. I mean, I love doing this. I love doing the music, etc. But I also love to find out more about, and I want to do it not just in the States and Canada, but in other areas. So, for instance, I love to find out what's going on in your area, all around the world. How are you perceived? How do you perceive your governance? How do you perceive your social care? The status of everything that's going on where you're from. This, guys, I was just I love this. I said Thomas Sowell, people like Jordan B. Peterson. There's a few others that I'm going to be starting to check into. And yeah, I hope you like it. Let me know in the comment section. I mean, is it something that is interesting to you, or am I just barking up the wrong tree? Let me know, guys. But at the end of the day, here at Urban Bars, we want to give you the best of the best of the best. And we want to create debate as well, guys. That's what we want to do. We want to create debate and interest, and just keep things fresh and moving on. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel here at Urban Bars, please subscribe to my channel, because there's lots more to come, guys. Lots more to come. Have a great weekend. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. And guys, please make certain you come back to the next Urban Bars reaction, guys.